Hey, what's up everyone? This is the first episode of the Tech Talk. So finally I got some free time to talk about on my YouTube channel. So just on the background we have Kevin capturing the stuff with his friend. So and we've got the William. We got the William just on the left side. So
Hey.
basically William is our guest for this session. William, can you tell something about yourself?
Yeah, so basically, I have an interesting story. I finished a business degree and now I went on to, because I find it quite boring, so I decided to pursue a career in IT. And I did a short course and some self-study, and now I'm working at the market here.
Yeah, so we got some of the stickers here on the laptop and he's working in, I think this one, yeah, this one. So basically William is a very good example of the conversion from the business to IT because this is actually crazy, man, give it five, like this is...
I think
cool,
even
yeah.
Kevin is as well.
Yeah, so basically the guy who is capturing this video, he actually did exactly the same way. So he was studying business, but now he's studying the IT. So yeah, good job, Kevin.
Thanks.
Yeah, so today we are going to talk about... Okay, Kevin, tell me if I have enough memory on my phone because otherwise it will die. So
You
today
can
we
type it out.
that's fine. So we are going to talk about the progressive web apps. This is the topic of our day. Basically, so William, what do you know about progressive web apps? Like, what does come to your mind from your knowledge? What is that?
I know, the first thing I think of is Vue.js, because I think Vue.js is...
That's very close. That's actually very close. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what do you think the pattern of progressive web apps? Like, what do you imagine? Because you work a little bit with the web, how does it feel like?
It's like much faster and cleaner and smaller as well.
Okay.
Like an app, you know? I think Uber is a progressive web app.
Exactly. Good. So basically, William already jumped in the middle of our conversation, but it's cool. So progressive web app is actually, it's not some new technology, it's more like the paradigm, it's more like the style of the web application. So basically in the old web, what's happened is all of your like websites, they couldn't be offline. They were very mobile unfriendly. Like if you have your, like, I don't know, some Internet Explorer back in those days and you're trying to access the website, it's actually a very bad experience. With the progressive web app, we are getting the mobile native-like experience, which actually just represents a website. So as William already mentioned, you mentioned Vue.js, right?
Yes.
That's cool. So that's a very good choice. Soon you will get to know that I really love Vue.js. Basically, I didn't want to learn anything new, and Kevin can prove. He's laughing right now on the back. But Vue.js is a cool technology. So coming back. So progressive web app is not a new technology. It's like, can you imagine, you have a phone, right? And then on your phone, you can navigate to google.com and then you will see that the website is mobile friendly. But it doesn't act like the native application. So the feature here is, can you imagine, like even for Uber, you don't need to install the standalone like 125 megabytes application. You can go to the uber.com and then just add it to your home screen and your application is going to be straight away feel like the native application. You can do it right now, so Uber supports this stuff.
So it's like React Native, is that what you're saying? Or?
That's a good one. So basically, you can. It's a good question. For progressive web apps, there are actually a couple of things you can do. You can do some like out of the box. You can do it using the like latest React or Vue.js. No, that's okay. Yeah. What's happened is once you generate the Vue.js or React application, it's like out of the box. It's the progressive web app. So it simplifies the development. But if we are talking about a couple of features of progressive web app, basically one of the features would be your application feels like native. So what I mean by that is if we go to the Uber version of like progressive web app of the Uber version, you will see that it's like the native app. So it can work offline. I mean, some of the capabilities, basically just a caching. So if you go to Uber and then let's say you just add it to your home screen. Yeah. So progressive web apps, basically in order to install them, I'm putting install in the quotes for a reason that what you're doing actually you're just getting not a copy, you're getting a bookmark of the website and then you enable some of other just extra JavaScript things there. So the idea is you have a service worker. Service worker is the first step of the progressive web app. So basically, what does it do? Your application can work offline. Can you imagine, like, if you are navigating in Facebook as the website on your phone, and then you kill your browser or whatever, your website doesn't send you any notification. So if someone sends you the message, I mean, it's not good for you. That's
No.
why. But if you have a service worker, can you imagine? You have a piece of JavaScript which is executed in the background. So if you have some of the notifications coming there, you can easily just go and check them as the. I mean, for iOS, it's actually situation is not that good. Don't find me wrong, but for Android it's really good. For Android progressive web apps they're amazing, but for iOS it's like 50-50.
So how can I start to build a progressive web app? Do I need to learn Vue.js or like what's the backend or what's going on?
That's a
here?
good question. So basically, in order to start with the I'm quite new with the progressive web apps. I haven't done that much. They have some of the I tried to explain something to Kevin, and I think Kevin knows a little bit too. The idea about progressive web apps is that they're out of the box with the major frameworks. So
Ooh.
for instance, you can go for the Vue.js, you can go for the React, and I think even Angular. Like I haven't used Angular for a long time, but with Angular you can basically easily from the COI. But what does mean COI is the common one interface. You can just spawn the new empty project which would already support the progressive web app features out of the box. So as I mentioned, let's say if you are using Vue.js, you can have a service worker. It's already there. So service worker is responsible for offline capabilities. So imagine you have the JavaScript which works in the background. Like that's the magic. And the second part, you have a manifest.json.
Yeah.
So manifest.json is a very simple file which just describes how your web app looks on your home screen. So you can actually say like which page is going to be the starting page of your website, of your web app. What's going to be the icon for your web app and so on. So it's like two crucial parts. But the web app is more about experience. So in a Vue.js, if you just generate the new project, out of the box you're getting progressive web app, so you will have some caching, already some caching enabled. You will get the manifest.json, and if you're using Chrome, in a Chrome you can basically, in order to understand whether the application is PWA, you can just inspect it with the inspection tool.
Yeah.
And you will see that they have like the special tab for the application, and you can see some of the settings for the manifest, for the service worker. So yeah, pretty much that's it. But again, you don't need any knowledge for PWA. Like PWA is just the concept of making of the application. Basically, what you need to understand, you need to make your website feel native to your device. It's not some rocket science. I mean, it's nothing special here. Like you need to understand that your website should look like native. It should have a service worker service worker JavaScript file which would enable the background synchronizing, notifications, and caching. And the second thing, you need the manifest.json, the one which describes how it's going to look like. So this is mostly what we are talking right now. Is basically just a conversation. Just in the description, I'm gonna put a link for a sample PWA application.
Yeah. Lunch cow?
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, so I was already yeah. Thanks. So William pointed to some of my projects that I've done as a progressive web app. Now I put this project down. You can read on my blog the article why did I do it. So basically, yeah, I put my project down. Yeah, you're right. It's not because I didn't have that much money to support it. No, of course not. The main idea was that I don't know. I spent too much time on this project, but it was a good progressive web app. So I will put some of the samples from the launch pal straight in the GitHub, and I will attach the link below so that you will see. So this conversation is just about what do people know about the progressive web apps. I just recently have been to Europe and I've been on a couple of very good presentations about the PWA. And honestly, I was quite surprised that not everyone knows about the PWA.
Yeah, it's like quite new, isn't it?
In some case, I
Not
mean,
new, but it's like hot, getting hot.
yeah, exactly. It's getting hot. So I don't remember, Kevin. When did I tell you about the progressive web apps?
It was one of the meetup.
Exactly. So Kevin joined me. So Kevin is just
meetup.
yeah, Node.js. It was a Node.js meetup.
There's a progressive web meetup as well.
Which one?
PWA meetup.
Exactly. So
SydPWA, yes.
bam. Yes. Thank you. That's the next step. So. If you are located in Sydney, there's a really good meetup which is called PWA Sydney. So one of my friends, he's the organizer. I mean, this is amazing. They sometimes, not sometimes actually, they often invite people from Google, from other companies that actually drive the PWA industry. So I'm gonna again attach the link below. I'm not gonna put it inside the video because maybe the link changes or something like that.
Yeah.
So if you're in Sydney, please just go there and then check everything out because they have some really good talks. So basically, how do you feel about the PWS? I know it was very...
Yeah.
Explain to us what is a service worker.
Yeah, so yeah, Kevin's got a good question. Actually, I wanted to follow the session as the discussion, but if it's going to more details. Service worker is the piece of JavaScript code which is actually executed in the background. So what happens is, let's say the main problem of the websites, of the traditional website in like mobile or web experience, desktop experience, is once you navigate on the website, you're doing your stuff, but then once you close your website, it's gone. It's like there is no interaction.
Yeah.
So imagine if you have messaging capabilities on your website and then someone sends you a message, I don't know, you will get to know about this only if you visit the website. But if you have a service worker enabled, you have this like background syncing process. So imagine you have a Chrome, right? So you have a Chrome browser and the best part is you're smiling. No, we got our own jokes, but that's fine. Yeah. About the Chrome. So yeah, William loves Chrome browser very much.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Google Chrome.
Yeah, so
Google Chrome.
Google Chrome. Yeah. So the main idea here is let's say you can actually like you have tabs, so you can open your progressive web app in a tab, but then you can just close the tab, and your service worker would be still enabled. So if you send some notification into, let's say the service worker can listen for some of the events, and it can provide notification. Second thing, what does service worker do, which is like totally amazing, is the caching. So what happens is you can say in your service worker things like, let's say if I went for the particular link, let's say photos or whatever, the service worker can describe which paths are going to be cached. For instance, you have like kevin.com photos, and then in the service worker you can include that, okay, I need the photos part to be cached. So the idea is once you go back to your progressive web app, you will see that like your photos, they would be in offline because they're going to be cached. So service worker describes you everything about the caching, everything about the background notifications, and many more. That's the main point. But the problem is it still recording? Yeah?
Yep.
Okay, good. So yeah, because I don't know, my phone is actually very low in memory, that's why I'm not sure. It can stop, yeah. Come on. So basically, yeah, again, this is the service worker, and the problem here comes with the iOS versus Android. I'm not very satisfied with iOS at all. What do they do? The problem with the iOS is, like in Android, if you take Android phone and then, the Android phone. If you take Android phone and then you go for PWA application, and then you have a special thing which is called install PWA. Like, I love it. It just sounds so sexy. Because once you, because once you, like, I love the feeling of installation of PWA. Like, it's not about you just put it as the bookmark, because like it sucks. When you put it as a bookmark, it feels like, it drives me nuts. The same, that's what they do in iOS. So in iOS, you can actually like press the button like in the middle of the Safari, and it says to you, add to the home screen. It's not theoretical, like you are still caching something. I mean, it should be installation. That's what drives me a little bit crazy. And I heard there is some debate with the Chrome team and people that actually develop PWA applications. They say that, like, they already say, oh no, it should be like add to the home screen, but no, it should be installed, because you want to feel the native experience. You don't want to feel that the website by itself is not it's not progressive if you add it to your home screen. You want like to install. Like, do you have the same perception about that? Yeah. So there was another thing. Give me a second. Couple of restrictions. This is very important. So for now, I have no idea, but honestly, I failed a couple of times. So one of the reasons PWA was hard for me is about notifications on the iOS. The problem is like I could easily do it on the Android. On Android, like the service worker things are fine. I think Google provides you some of the tools which can spawn you the service worker, which are like pretty good with notifications. Everything's set up. Yeah, thanks. Kevin told me that it's a time, but I will just continue a little bit for this talk. And for the iOS, basically what happens is they're very bad there. And for the iOS, they have a restriction for the cache at 70 megabytes. Maybe they removed it. I haven't checked it. But for the Android, I think you have no restriction, so you can cache as much as you want. So yeah, thanks Kevin for timing. William, how do you feel like?
I think progressive web is the future. I think not the future, but
It's not the future. It's now.
It's now. So I might make a project with try make a project with.
Yeah, with the PWA. Actually, William has a couple of his own projects. I will put in description teachlearn.com.
Yeah.
.com.au?
.com.au.
.com.au, thanks. So you can check in description some of his project. He built it on React, right? Is it React?
It was Ruby on Rails.
Ruby on Rails, yeah, sorry.
But I might integrate a Vue.js or React.js frontend.
Cool, awesome. So it means we
Yeah.
got some good feedback from this session.
Yeah.
So next time, we are not sure, maybe we'll try to get some different guests. We are going to talk about something different. But honestly, I will put, if you don't see a GitHub link in the description below, I mean, you can just, you can dislike my video for that. But I'm trying to put some of the PWA sample, and you can run by yourself, check this out. And don't forget to go to the www.nickshauhin.com
And williamchow.com.
Exactly. So I don't think we will change our domain. So I'll put the link somewhere there. I don't know. It should be somewhere on the screen right now. Just there, I guess.
Here as well.
Or maybe there. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. Yeah, depends how I will edit my video. So thank you so much, William. It was a great catch up. Thank you, Kevin, and thanks to the friend of the Kevin. Yeah. So guys, stay tuned, and we are gonna post some other videos after.
With Stefan, he's really...
Yeah, we'll ask a couple of other people to talk about the tech. So yeah, stay tuned. Maybe every week we are gonna have a new one. Yeah. Cheers, bye.
Cheers, thank you.